Hi everyone, welcome to Amazon Prime Video Bright Sparks Mentorship Program info session. Really pleased that you've joined us today to find out more about this amazing program. So I'm Freyna. I'm from Creative Mentor Network. So we are Creative Mentor Network is a charity that's been running for about 10 years, and we are dedicated to supporting young people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds gain a mentor within the creative industry. So we run a number of programs and throughout the year, and one of the amazing programs that we run is with Prime Video. So this is the program that you're going to find out a bit more about it. And today we have Prime Video here with us so they can share this amazing program that we have. So I'm going to pass on to you guys.
Thanks. Okay, I can start. Hi everyone, my name is Alison. I've been at Amazon Prime Video for 6 years now, and my role is Head of Creative Operations. Essentially, what that means is that I work alongside our very talented creative team, and really just to make sure that from a project management perspective and a workflow perspective, we are efficient and as creative as we can be. I also strategically look at the future, use technology to see if we can enhance what we do from a creative perspective, but we'll come on to that a little bit later. Just a bit about me. Before Prime Video, I worked as a producer in advertising agencies across Europe and North America, producing campaigns for Nike and Adidas, Coca-Cola, Sonos. And lastly, my favorite thing about working at Prime Video is probably the people. We have an amazing team here, but also we're always encouraged to be bold and take risks. And with all our exciting shows, it makes it a lot of fun to work here too. So that's me. I'll pass you on to Swan.
Thank you, Alison. Hi guys, my name is Swan. I've been with Amazon for 4 years and a half, almost. I'm a senior creative director, which means I lead the creative team here in Europe. And what we do, in a nutshell, is anything that touch on creative in the marketing campaign, we are responsible for that. So think about movie posters, think about trailer, think about social content, think about immersive screening experience, and anything in between, anything that would generate awareness about Prime Video and the movies and series and documentaries we make. What I like working at Prime Video, I would say, just I'm a huge geek. You know, I've always been watching a ton of movies and ton of series. So just like being part of that entertainment industry is like just very exciting to me. I would say the people as well, for sure. And my past background, I was working at Google before. I was based in Asia Pacific for a couple of years. Then before Google, I was working for 12 years in creative agencies around the world, in France, in Canada, in Australia, then in China. I'm now based in London. So now I'll pass on to Michael.
Thank you, Swan. Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Ogundari. I'm a marketing manager here at Prime Video, and I've been here now for 5 years. So marketing manager basically means I lead on the end-to-end planning, delivery, and execution for all our marketing campaigns for our TV shows and movies. Before this, similar to Alison and Swan, I used to work in creative agencies. Just a big overall nerd. I've probably worked across most entertainment properties, across most sports franchises. And then before that, I did social media for Sky. So first 10 years of my career, I was primarily social media, and now I've moved over to a broader marketing role. And I will hand you over to the lovely India.
Hi guys, nice to meet you all, although we can't see your faces today. It's lovely to be here. I am India. I'm a producer in Prime Video. I have been at Amazon for almost 8 years. I've had many different lives and roles here, but currently I'm a producer, and what that means is I work really closely with all of these guys. So, Swan works on the creative and there's Michael's across strategy, and then I'll sort of take what they've decided that we're working with and physically make it work across bus shelters or on the side of a bus or get it to TikTok or get it to Snapchat. So I'm basically getting it delivered to where it needs to be so that all of you guys can see it. Before I worked at Amazon, I worked as a handbag and shoe product developer and designer. And before that, I was at Disney Channel before well, it's no longer Disney Channel, but when it was Disney Channel, doing marketing again. So that's me.
I think just as a bit of a snapshot of what we do. This covers, as some of you may have seen, some or all of these shows. But this just gives you a little bit of an idea of the kind of type of shows that we work on, from sort of big franchises like Rings of Power, through to some of our, uniquely funny and some of our YA content, but also on Champions League and sport as well. So this team will touch pretty much all of what you see on screen, but these are just some posters, but obviously that translates into, as Tuan said, trailers and social content. And yeah, this is a little snapshot of what we've done in the last 12 months. Past experiences with the mentorship program here. So we are, we realize how hard breaking into the entertainment industry is, and it's also really hard to work at Prime Video. So we acknowledge that one of the big barriers to accessing the creative industry is knowing what roles there are and what jobs are available. So we also understand that making the creative industry accessible is crucial for companies like ours, so that we can identify and grow emerging talent and keep us relevant and interesting as well. So the reason that we've been collaborating with the Creative Mentor Network on this really is to allow mentees to kind of peek behind the curtain, so to speak, of entertainment and marketing, and develop their networks and experiences within a wide range of departments. So our teams here are across different areas of our business. So from marketing to music to our business teams, even analytics, production, creative, there's a wide range of roles that our mentors have when working on this program. We've been running this now for 4 years, and each cohort has provided us with a new opportunity to connect with more people wanting to work in the creative industry. And we're really proud of our successes. And Tuan and Mike are going to talk to you a little bit about their personal experiences. But really, for us, our mentors learn as much as mentees do on this program. And we learn a lot about the importance of diversity, of culture capital, and make us think a lot more meaningfully about the ways in which we work as well. So it's a hugely important program for us too. But I'm going to pass over to Mike first to tell you a little bit about sort of his experience in the cohort.
Yes, so a few years ago, when I first signed up to be a mentor with CMN, I got matched with this very amazing young woman called Remy, who was this amazing self-starter. And she had already been working in the industry she wanted to go into. She was a director, photographer, screenwriter extraordinaire. And to be honest, I was kind of like, you already seem to be doing what you need to be doing. What can I do for you? But the early sessions was, she was like, hey, I think I need to work more on soft skills. I want to get my portfolio into a place that's really good so I can seek out more opportunities. So we kind of worked about self-promotion and her just building up her confidence. But I'll give you 2 quick examples where I think really highlighted the power of me mentoring her, that really made me feel like I added value to her career. The first one is, because we get to work on a lot of different shows, we do a lot of shoots. And I asked Remy if she wanted to come along to one of our shoots. We were doing a teaser for a TV show we launched a couple of years ago called The Devil's Hour. I don't know if any of you would have seen that. But at this shoot, she actually got to network with other professionals that were doing the type of job she wanted to do in the future. And the most important one was that the creator and series writer for Devil's Hour just happened to be in attendance. And full of confidence, she went up to him and was just like, hey, can I just download from you and ask you some questions about how you wrote your script and how you came up with the story? And their relationship actually blossomed, where he actually became her mentor as well. So just giving her access to a place she would never usually go to. I don't know if any of you know how to meet other experienced writers. Even I don't, even though I work in the industry. But just giving her the access to that, she gave her a lifelong relationship and mentor who is directly related to the things she wanted to do with her life. The second one, which I think is a great example, is that as experienced as all the mentors are, there may be times when you want a piece of experience we may not directly have, but what we will have are connections and a wider network. So because Remy was a amateur up and coming director and filmmaker, someone from my previous job was also a budding amateur director. So for one of our sessions, I brought us all together on a nice Saturday morning and we just had the discussion, and he really imparted upon her some really great skills in terms of what it takes to be a director, a filmmaker, where she can access funding, how to write the entry submissions, what award shows she can submit her film into, and then the story she would need to kind of sell to people who are essentially, when you're an up and coming filmmaker working for free, what type of things she should look out for to build a really competent team. And it was just amazing watching them bounce off each other. And I'm happy to say that all of that led to her actually filming her first short film, which was amazing. And she submitted it for some award shows. And I think she's currently she's written the second, and I think she's currently in the process of filming the second. So that's just a short excerpt about my experience and what I did with my mentee. And I was super proud of her.
That's awesome, Mike. And are you guys still in contact?
Yeah. We talk. We keep in regular contact. Actually, she actually checks up on me. But yes, she likes to see how I'm doing from time to time, and I like to see how she's doing from time to time as well.
Yeah, that's also important. I'm the same. I started the program as a mentor as well, and I still keep in contact with my mentee. It's really nice. Zwan, did you have something you wanted to share too?
Yeah, I was a mentor a couple of years ago, and I was mentoring a young lady called Lizzie. She was amazing. She is amazing, and she was she was a creative. She was interested in creative, but like like when you think about creative, sometimes you don't think about marketing. People think about like I want to make the show. They think about like making movies and series, and marketing doesn't sound very creative. So she was like, she reached out to me, and she was like, hey, is there? Tell me more about like what is creatively possible in the marketing space, because she had no clue and she was very curious about it. It's like, okay, she loved creative and she wanted to say, how can I get to a place that I can live, like earn some money and pay my bills with creative? And I was like, yeah, the good thing is in marketing there are like so many opportunities for creative. So things like we are working, for example, when we work on a key art on a poster, we can work with like photographers, and we could work with illustrators. We can work with like VFX and 3D artists. When you make also a trailer, or we also work like on social or YouTube with, YouTube creators, with social influencers, and sometimes when we have like screening or movie premiere, we think about like the real life experience there, how people will experiment and interact with the event. So there's so many things we do, right? We work with writers, we should film ads for TV. So and she had no clue about that, and that really piqued her interest. I think the other thing she was trying to solve is being a creative. There's so much you can explore. Like she was struggling to choose if she needed to be a specialist, for example, just like draw and again and again and being an illustrator, or if you should touch on like everything. But like she didn't have to choose at the beginning, right? It's about like experimenting everything you want to. Sometimes it takes time to find what you want to do. Sometimes you don't even have an idea of like really what you will end up doing for a living. And the challenge of the creative space is there's not many schools that teach you how to be a creative. It's something that you have that like comes out of like passion for art and motivation. And she was asking me, hey, Swan, how can I get attention from people in the marketing space, just like to look at my resume? And what I told her is like the resume is good, but like something we assess, like when we're receiving like creative people is their resume, but also their portfolio. There's a need for a portfolio like to have, be it like a PDF, be it like a website, be it like folder, or like some links where you can showcase some of your creative project you've done in the past. And this is a bit tricky, right? Because when you start as a junior, sometimes you don't have those projects. So she was asking like how to find those opportunities to start to make creative projects that she would be able to put in her portfolio, so she will be able to show it like to businesses alongside her resume. So I gave her like a lot of tips on how like to find those opportunities, And she was amazing, able to build her portfolio really quickly. And I'm still in contact with them. I had a chat with her, I think probably like 6 months ago. And originally she wanted to be, illustrator or like a photographer, and she was doing a little bit of like video editing as well. And she's set designer. So she works on in film, she's working in advertising, and she built setups, which is amazing. And she loved it. She didn't think she would end up doing that job, and she really enjoying it.
Thanks for sharing, Swan. I think, yeah, similarly, we've had such amazing experiences with our mentees, and it's really nice to kind of be able to, introduce. I think one of the big things about the mentors here is networking. I mean, there's just a big network that we can give to our mentees, and that's something really important as well. Even if you're matched with someone that isn't necessarily exactly the path that you think that you want to take, we have lots of mentors, with really diverse backgrounds that can support on, trying to sort of delve into what it is that you're looking for. And lastly, maybe India, you want to tell a little bit about what mentees can expect from a PV mentorship?
Sure. I think everyone here has done a really good job of like highlighting it. So just to sort of reiterate that we've got people in the Prime Video org that work all over marketing, whether that's social, whether it's also separately PR studios, our 3P partnership team. So even though some of you may not know what you want to do, we're here to sort of help you work that out and connect you with those people that can show you what we do, because I think half of the time you don't know what we do in our day-to-day jobs. So we can sort of enlighten you to that. Everything's really interesting. There's something for everyone here. And if there isn't, obviously there's the soft skills that I think we mentioned that we can work on, whether it is a portfolio or a CV or just basic skills that maybe you haven't had from just picking up from working in an office environment. Obviously, we're going to welcome you into our office, and hopefully that'll be really fun. And we're going to have face-to-face time with each other. So there's lots of soft and in work experience that we can share with you. And we're really here just to help you, really. So. And it's a really fun office. We'll show you around. There's loads going on here. Everyone's super nice. Like, we've already started looking at our mentors, so it's a really good spread. I myself haven't been a mentor yet, so I'm really excited to get into the program this year. So yeah.
Thanks, India. Freyna, I can't see the presentation anymore, but I assume you're on you're up next.
I am. I'm here. Thank you so much, all of you. I think it's so lovely to hear the different stories, and just what mentees can look forward to if they was to be put on the program. It almost feels sad for me that I'm not young enough to be part of the program. It seems like it's such a rewarding opportunity. So thank you very much for sort of sharing. The next slide is just to share what sort of mentee you're looking for. It'll be great to hear a little from you guys, what you think is a strong candidate that you will.
Yeah, I can answer that. I think, we, as mentioned, we are, we have a breadth of different mentors that cover different areas. But really, I think for us, what we're looking for would be mentors need to be over 18. They, having a strong interest in the entertainment industry is good, but also it can be, any sort of creative industry. People that are passionate about TV and film. I mean, that's our bread and butter. That's what we do. And then, a desire to learn more about kind of marketing, and sort of getting, like I said before, getting a little peek behind the curtain, really, of what it takes to kind of to work on the business side. It's not just about, Mike and Swan have told you some of the really fun stuff that we do. We also have to write a lot of documentations and go to a lot of meetings and kind of meet a lot of people and kind of manage complex situations. So it's not, it's fun, but, there are some other parts of the business that we're happy to share. And so I think people that are kind of interested in getting a little bit more of a information about what it means to kind of work in film and TV marketing more than anything else.
Amazing, thank you. We do have some time for questions shortly, so do put some questions in the chat if you have any. Just to add, in terms of the eligibility, there is obviously an eligibility that is required. So like Alison said, you have to be 18 plus. And there is also, as us at Creative Mental Network, we are dedicated to working with young people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. So there are, in the applications, there is a question that sort of suggests whether you are from that background. And if you have any questions on that, you can ask me later on. My email is slightly later on in the presentation, so you can ask me directly if you're not too sure, and we can have a chat on the phone. But yeah, so there are sort of eligibility requirements too. Next. I think it's how to apply. So I do think majority of you have applied already, but I think some of you have waited for this session to find out if it's suitable for you. So the way that you would apply is you would go onto our website, and I'm hoping that you all know who we are now. If not, it's the name right there, Creative Mental Network. So you would go onto our website and you would look for the Amazon Prime Video Bright Sparks program, and you would apply. Like it says here, it takes 10 to 15 minutes. It's a quite straightforward application. It really asks a lot of questions about you in terms of your sort of creative focus and your interests, which I'm hoping you have a lot to say on. And then, yeah, so the application deadline is the 19th of March, and you will find out by the 20th if you have an interview. So quite short sort of turnaround. So essentially apply as soon as, because it just means that your application is in there, and it's me who's looking at it as well as program manager, and so as soon as it's in, it means that we can have a look at it. But yeah, if you have any other questions, again, like I said, I'm happy to sort of jump on the phone or answer your emails about if there's any questions about applications. Next is questions. So if you have any questions, I would say it's probably best to put them in the chat. If you do feel very confident, then maybe you can unmute yourself, but maybe let's start with questions from the chat first, and let's see how we go. I'm going to look to see if there's any questions. I am trying to see where is the link. I mean, I can send you a link in the chat just so you have it straight away. I can do that if that's more accessible for you. 2 questions. Do you accept people from North or like Leeds? So I guess, Alison, you can let me know. You are based in London, and majority of the sessions are in person, but there is a variety. Would you, I guess the question for yourself.
Yeah, so we have had experiences with mentees that have been based all around the country. Excuse me. We are happy to have we don't it's not a tight rein when it comes to that. So yes, it's fine to be living outside. I mean, we can do all calls and any intros on Zoom. We do ask for some minimal travel, which we can also help cover costs for as well. So yeah, it shouldn't be a barrier to apply if you're not living in London. The other thing is we do have a few mentors that are based outside of the UK. We found that to work really well before. So we have a couple of our mentors are based in Spain. Remind me, and is it just Spain or?
I think we've got Spain, Germany, and perhaps the Netherlands off the top of my head.
So and again, so if there are any other countries that anyone is interested in working in or experiences working abroad, that's something that we can also make sure that mentors and mentees have that connection.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Next question is, do you take people interested in documentary film? I think Alison did, any of you can jump in if I'm incorrect, but I think you did mention that you are sort of there's a variety of different mentors, and they all hold different jobs. It is, I don't believe, I do believe that you do some sort of unscripted document. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's totally right. I mean, I think, the most important thing to realize is that, we are a marketing team first and foremost. So of course, we're interested in people that are interested in all elements of the entertainment industry, but we are not documentary filmmakers. That doesn't mean that we can't help you in sort of looking at your future and your career and helping to guide you in some way, and that's what mentorship is. But yeah, of course, we are interested in anyone that has that sort of passion for filmmaking.
Perfect, thank you. Can people working in creative industry also apply? Yes, you can. I think you don't have to be a student. You couldn't be working so long as you fit the criteria. And that is eligibility, and you are also within the age. You can apply. I should say, the sessions are once every 2 weeks that you would meet your mentor, so it doesn't impact too much on sort of your life, whether you're in education or you're working. So you certainly can apply. If you're accepted into the program, what is the schedule like? I've just mentioned, so it's once every 2 weeks that you meet your mentor. Yeah, there you go.
I think in past cohorts as well, we have left it up to mentors and mentees to decide how often they want to meet. So if you have a schedule that is very specific, then just make sure that we know that, and we'll make sure that you are paired with somebody that can also hit the same schedule as you. We are also a really, really busy team that work, every day, 9 to 5. So, we also need to figure out sort of a scheduling between ourselves and our mentees. So yes, we are very flexible when it comes to working out schedules.
Thank you. How do you decide which mentor and mentee are paired together? So I think it's a collaboration. Essentially, we would look at your application and look at your interests, see if they match up with someone that is a mentor. So essentially, it would be the program manager from Creative Mentor Network would match you first, and then they will work with Prime Video just to make sure that the matching is definitely it works succinctly. So it's a collaboration. So we would first do it, and then we would work with Prime Video just to make sure that it feels like it's the right fit. So we try and make sure that we match you as perfectly as possible. Is it specifically for film/marketing side of creative industry, or is it more diverse? So I think we've kind of covered a little that it is very much is marketing within TV and film. But again, you guys can jump in if you think I'm not sort of covering correctly, but it's quite broad in that you would learn a lot about sort of TV and film business as well. Go ahead.
Just to be clear, like the mentors on this program all hold roles within marketing within Prime Video. That doesn't mean though that, like, we talked a little bit about our past experiences. Between us, we've all worked in various different industries with varying different experience. So our mentors have a wide range of experience. It's just that right now all of us will be in roles within marketing and Prime Video. So primarily that's what we'll be using as a base.
Thank you. And to answer any questions that have come in about do we hold this in different countries, or do you take international individuals? I'm afraid not, purely because we are based here. So you do have to be a resident of the UK to take part in one of these programs. Could a mentor take on multiple? No, I'm afraid it is a 1-by-1. So a one mentor can only take one mentee, and it just means that there's 16 weeks where they're able to sort of support one another. So there's not loads of time to take on 2 mentees, but it just means that you have a great partnership, and that you're able to sort of really develop yourself with that mentor. Once you've applied, so you apply, the 19th of March is the deadline. By the 20th, so the next day, you will find out whether you have an interview. So I said very soon. So apply if you haven't done, essentially. To answer your question, who has said, can you add anything to your application? You can't add anything now to your application. However, I would suggest if you really think that you haven't added all of the things that you think will be useful to know, do another application. Yeah. I think we have time for a couple more questions, so I'm going to have a look to see if there's any that we can answer. What challenges would you say you have faced? Oh, this is a good question. If for anyone that would like to take it, what challenges would you say you faced in the career you are pursuing, and have you tackled them? And how have you tackled them, in fact?
That's a great question, and I'm gonna invite one of these intelligent people to answer it.
I think me is a combination of answering to answer to this one, to this question, and there was another question about the applications from neurodiverse individuals. So I think like I could answer to that because I'm dyslexic actually, so I had to overcome that. And so big yes to that. We do like welcome. I think I was one of the challenge I had is like how do I overcome that and to turn that into a superpower, and I think it was helpful to me. Just yes, I'm dyslexic, but like it forced me to have like a different ways of thinking. I was like to work with like images, and I think so having unexpected approaches. For instance, like I use analogies much more, use, or metaphors, like to communicate. I use like color and shapes more than like text. So this is like something I had to overcome, right? I had to perform in this role, and also I believe in diversity. So yes, we definitely encourage.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Next question. I think we have time for maybe 2 or 3 more questions, depending on how quickly we can answer them. One question is, how do you determine the suitability of an applicant who applies? Again, it's purely depends on, firstly, the eligibility. So long as you meet those requirements. Secondly, it's essentially what your interests are, and seeing whether they align with the mentors. That's how we determine whether you would be invited to interview, firstly. And then I guess it depends on how the interview goes. So there's no sort of requirements that you have to be a graduate from university, or you have to be working in the business already. It's really about sort of, I would say, it's more about passion, and I guess again, you guys can jump in if you think I'm not correct. It's more about passion and determination and real interest in a career within this space.
Yeah, I think you've covered it. Thanks, Raina.
That's okay. Lastly, I guess this might be the last question. What key skills do you believe are essential for success in the creative industry?
I can answer to that one. I think it's definitely love for art, but it could be anything, art related could be, like video games, or if you play an instrument, I play the guitar. So you have like love for art. I think that's definitely essential for that. Like my background, I didn't go to school. I was actually terrible at school, so I think like just like the love of art, for art and passion and motivation, like will definitely help. I think another skill is resilience for sure, because like when you work as a creative, everyone has an opinion on creative, right? And because of that, I think that's we need like it's. I would encourage people like to choose that career creative. Like they have to accept to be vulnerable for the rest of the career, right? Because like people comment on your taste, on like everything you do. So to some degree, sometimes you take it personality. So like being resilient and being vulnerable is critical to succeed as a creative in the creative industry.
I think the only thing I would add to that, and again, Michael, please jump in as well, is that the creativity is really broad. I think when people think about creative, they think of art and they think of, making things. But also, we have people in our business teams who also have to be creative, right? You have to think creatively about solutions, about how we're gonna market something. It's not just about physically is physically creating something either. So I think sort of creative problem solving, project management, someone like India working in production, it's all about creative thinking as much as anything else. So that's quite important too. And Mike, sorry, I know you had something else.
Yeah, I think I have two quick things to add to what Swan and Alison said, which I think are absolutely amazing. You definitely need passion, be creative, and creative that doesn't necessarily mean making stuff or making new things. The two things I would add is be endlessly curious. Always be endlessly curious. I think passion and curiosity go hand in hand. Ask questions, always educate yourself, always see what's happening, keep your fingers on the pulse of culture and society. And two, especially if you're starting out, say yes to everything. Even if you don't know what you want to do, when you're young, say yes to everything and at least figure out the stuff you don't want to do. Even if you think it doesn't apply, or even if you think it doesn't ladder back up to your end goal, you never know what the power of yes will take you. I've only got into where I am in my career because I said yes to the most random of things, and it's led to the most amazing of outcomes. So please say yes. When you're young, say yes to everything. Even if you think it's not what you want to do, it's not your long-term goal, just say yes.
Amazing. Thank you very much. I guess that was the perfect question to end on, because we were able to hear from all of you. I think someone's just asked for a last question, but I think I'm going to move on. And maybe if we have time right at the end, maybe we'll answer one more question. So, oh, it's not letting me move it now. Oh. No, again, a little technical issue again.
You need us we can see the chat. Do you need us to read something out?
I guess maybe we can answer the last question, and I can stop sharing my screen. And should we try this last question then? Last question: what made you want to become a mentor? Oh, what made you want to become a mentor? And what can we do if we become a mentee?
I mean, I guess because I didn't have one when I was young, and I wish I had, so I think now having access to a mentor is something really precious, right? Because it gives you like someone working in the business. Sometimes you get, like information from your family or your parents, the teachers, but it's not often that you get the opportunity to get someone working in the business, the marketing industry that can help you. I didn't have a mentor, and I wish I had, so that's why I wanted to become a mentor.
Yeah, massive +1 to that. I wish I'd have had a mentor when I was in my early stages of my career. So, yeah, definitely.
Just to give back, to be honest, I had mentors growing up, and my career has benefited hugely from mentors, people who gave up their time for nothing to help coach me and lend me their experiences. And I wanted to do the same because, as you can see with our panel, we're a very diverse group, and that's one of the great things about working at Amazon. But I still understand it's rare to see someone like me in quite a prominent marketing role. And I just want to give back to younger people. I'm growing older now, and I just want to, impart the wisdom that was given to me. So yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm going to add to that question too. And I'm not a mentor. However, I work at Creative Mentor Network purely because I also had a mentor when I was younger. And that person carried me and supported me and encouraged me to try lots of different things, which is kind of why I always, in every single role, and is why I work here, is I'm very passionate about young people having someone or space where they can be encouraged or they can sort of learn about new things or things that they didn't even think that they could reach. So it's definitely something that I think we all collectively are very passionate about. Which is a very good thing. I think if you have individuals who are very passionate about supporting you, it means that they're definitely there for you and wanting you to succeed. Okay. Thank you. This is the last slide. So thank you everyone for joining us. I think we're not going to answer any more questions, because we are closer to the end. We've actually run a little bit over, so my apologies, everyone. Thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you for dedicating some time to hearing more about this wonderful program. I hope you all have taken something away from this session. And if you have any questions, my email is here. So take a picture of it. Write it down, type it on your phone, and send me an email if you have any questions. If you haven't already, apply and put all of the sort of interests that you have. And hopefully you've taken a lot of this session, so you know sort of what we're looking for. And yeah, good luck. And thank you very much to Alison, Michael, India, and Yuan for joining us, and again dedicating the time, because I know you guys are very busy. So maybe let's say thank you to them as well for joining us and delivering this session as well.
No problem. Thanks so much, and
Thank you,
hopefully
guys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
everyone.
bye.